Hey everyone, and welcome back to OntarioCyrptids. First and foremost, I want to thank each and every one of you who continue to come back here week after week and listen to these stories. I truly enjoy telling them, and I'm hoping that you guys truly enjoy listening to them. And on that note, I do want to thank each and every one of you who have shown your love and support by subscribing to my channel. And I do want to remind you guys that if you have a story of your own, please send it my way. I am looking for stories all the time. So again, you can send your stories to OntarioCyrptids@gmail.com. All right, now today, guys, we have two fabulous stories, one coming out of Nebraska and the other one coming out of Texas. So sit back, guys, because you know what? These two stories are fantastic. Just all I can say is they're fantastic. Okay, you know what to do, guys. Go grab yourself your favorite beverage and sit back and relax. Okay, so this first story takes place on May the 25th of 2018 in Thurston County, Nebraska, somewhere near the town of Macy. I was northeast of Macy, Nebraska, along the Missouri River, taking part in an expedition hosted by members of the Omaha Indian tribe. We were on the Omaha Reservation. These tribal members say they've had many sightings in the hilly bluff zone extending for miles along the west flank of the Missouri River Basin. 5 of us had decided to take a day hike to see a possible X structure. As we started up the path, it became known that to get to the X, we'd have to veer off the main path and bushwhack through the weeds. 2 people did this while 3 of us decided to stay on the clearer but muddy path. I still have never seen the X, but pictures are available. As we headed up the trail, one of my Native American companions said he was hearing movement in the woods to our right. At this point, we could not see very far off the path as trees and bushes blocked the view. I did not hear the movement. We continued forward and came to an area where trees had been cut down in the past. We could see maybe 40 to 50 yards back into the forest. 2 of us looked to our right as soon as we made it into this clearer area and immediately saw movement. I saw a long light brown object that was swinging downwards from a horizontal position forward. It was not indicative of any other animal that I can think of, and was bent slightly at an apparent elbow. I could not see a hand because of the brush. At the time of the sighting, the other witness started telling us what he just saw. He said, "I just saw one," and described seeing the whole upper body of a light brown Sasquatch. Apparently, when it noticed us, it started to drop down and move to its right, our left, behind cover. He said, as it was ducking down, the arm had swung away up in the air and back down, and he demonstrated. His description and demonstration exactly matched what I had seen. He did not know that I had also seen it as he was telling me his story. I took a picture of the area where the sighting happened. This subject was behind and to the right of the stick pointing upward. On July 27, 2018, I revisited the location with an investigator and hacked my way back into this spot. We determined that the top of the stick is about 11 feet high, making the top of the arm swing at around 9 feet tall. On the day of the sighting, I was not prepared to bushwhack back into the site where the subject was seen. I was better prepared when we returned on July 27th. This subject was much larger than me. It could very easily be 10 feet, as it was already ducking away when I saw it. There are many encounters in this general area, including a long-distance daytime sighting just yesterday. The proud native people of this area seemingly tend to keep their stories within their own community. I am very blessed to have been able to hear the details of many of these encounters. I can't imagine going up to see an X, never actually getting to the X, but instead you see something better. You actually eyewitness a Sasquatch walking away from you. Like, that must have just been incredible. Anyways, great story. Thank you for that. And we're going to move along to the next one, which is also very, very good. Okay, so this second story takes place on August 5th, 2005 in Anderson County, Texas. Now, like I stated before, the story, they do give the exact detail, but we're just going to show the nearest town. So I hope you guys enjoy. On August 5th, 2001, at 3:13 Central Daylight Time, somewhere near Palestine, Texas, I was traveling westbound at 65 miles per hour when I saw what looked like a bear cub or a very large dog sitting in the middle of the road. I slowed down to 15 miles per hour. I hit my high beams and stopped about 20 yards away from the animal. I put on my four-way flashers and turned on my interior spotlight. As I looked up, I saw a huge bipedal creature that I will call Bigfoot. It walked from the soft shoulder of the road to the animal in the road. As he, I'm pretty sure it was a male, walked in front of my tractor, he shielded his eyes, not seemingly out of shyness, but more as an effort to protect his eyes from the bright lights. I reduced my highlights to low beam, but decided not to turn them off as I was in the middle of the highway. I was doing my best to protect them by blocking the road with my tractor trailer. The big male went over to what I realized was a toddler. He grabbed its shoulder and attempted to grab the little one's arm. The little one scooted away like a child trying to get away from a parent that wants the child to go somewhere the child doesn't want to go. The little one had greater agility than the big male. The little one squirmed, scrambled, and scooted further up the road from where they were. Then something caught my eye and ear directly next to my driver's window. I casually looked over, and within 2 feet of my face was a female. No doubt female. She had nursing breasts. Her eyes were almost even with my eye level. I measured from where the top of her head came up to my mirror. It was 7 feet 4 inches tall. The male was at least 1 foot taller than her, plus some. She had a gamey smell, but didn't stink. Immediately upon seeing her, I smiled with all the teeth I have. From the interior spotlight, which was pointed down towards my lap, I'm sure she was able to see me clearly. I certainly saw her clearly. So clearly, I could smell and feel her breath. I particularly noticed the volume of air that she breathed. Not out of breath or even heavy breathing, just a large volume of air with each breath. I again smiled at her and asked, "Is the baby okay?" She slowly smiled back at me. I noticed a dental anomaly. Either she had a double row of teeth, or the crowns of her teeth were split on the top center and gave the impression of 2 rows of teeth. She then reached into the tractor and stroked my beard, like I do when I'm thinking. My beard is mid-chest length and multicolored. It was then I realized the large male's head was identical to mine, although his beard was shorter. The female had thin facial hair on her chin. The rest of his hair fur was dark brown with traces of gray-white on his shoulders. back, and chest. She was a mixture of brown and reddish-brown hair, fur, mostly reddish-brown. As she took her hand off my beard and took her hand out of my tractor, I extended my hand out to her. She sandwiched my hand between her two hands. Her hands were 2 or 3 times larger than mine. Her hands felt like roughneck work gloves, rough leather. At this point, she gave me a soulful look. From her facial expressions and her watery eyes, I took it that she was saying, "Thank you for not running over my baby." The eyes were not dead eyes. They were bright and moist, just very dark brown, not black. The large male had the child under his left arm like a sack of potatoes. He never looked directly at me as I watched him walk back into the tree line. I noticed at least 3 more, I suspected even more, at the tree line. They ranged from height of the female to slightly shorter, but none came close to the size of the male. I believe any use of deadly force would have been borderline homicide, no doubt in my mind. 21 years of investigating experience teaches you to observe, remember as much as you can, and immediately write it down. That's what I have done. The encounter ended at 3:17. I have thought of 10 million things that I coulda, woulda, shoulda done if given the opportunity again. I know, however, that this was a once-in-a-lifetime event. Wow, I think this witness is absolutely correct. This is a one-in-a-lifetime chance. I don't think he will ever have another encounter as phenomenal as this one. Absolutely amazing. I mean, there's nothing else I can say but wow. So that's going to mark the end of the stories for today, guys. I want to thank you all who continue to subscribe to my channel. I truly appreciate it. Also, if you have a story of your own that you would like to share, please forward your stories to OntarioCyrptids@gmail.com. And in the meantime, guys, I want you all to stay safe, and we'll catch you all next week.